Welcome back to Ferris Sports Update. Time to talk Bulldog hockey. And with us, head coach Bob Daniels. And Coach, first of all, welcome back to the show.
Good to be here, Rob. Thank you.
A couple close matchups this past weekend with Michigan Tech. Both games decided by a single goal. Kind of your thoughts on the weekend against the Huskies?
Well, even though the results for both games are the same, I have completely different feelings about the two games. On Friday, I did not think we played well at all as a team. I thought that Tech took it to us. I thought they were by far the superior team that night. I thought that they were much more aggressive than we were. And without the play of C.J. Mott, it could have been a much higher scoring contest for them. We didn't do enough to generate offense, and I was just really disappointed with our approach to the game. And obviously, we needed to do something as coach to have to probably get us better prepared for those Friday night contests, but we did not play well Friday. It's interesting, too, that the lone goal that night was scored by our own player, put it in our own net. But it wasn't, realistically, it wasn't a 1-0 kind of game. We just did not play well enough. On Saturday, I thought we played exceedingly well, probably deserved a better fate than a loss.
As we go to the highlights of Friday's game, to start off the weekend, a couple great crowds on hand at the Ava Glaven Ice Arena.
Yeah, really happy with the crowds, and they gave us a lot of energy. I thought probably our best 10 minutes of the game on Friday night occurred, or in the first period where we were energized by the crowd. But just as time went on, we just couldn't sustain any offensive pressure. We were getting beat to loose pucks. We did move. We made a change in the lineup. We moved Brandon Anselmini to forward, and we're hoping he's I think a very good offensive player, and I think he'll be a strong player offensively around the other team's goal. And that's why we put him up there. Even though it didn't, we never got anything out of it this week, and I think we're going to move forward and keep him there because I did like the way he played.
That's a spot where you do have some experienced defensemen to kind of step up and take that role.
Yeah, we do, and when I ended up moving Sean O'Rourke back to his natural position of defense because I had him up front, and we didn't, he played really well, so we didn't really see any loss of productivity from our defensemen at all. And I think we can do better offensively by him and Brandon up front. Now the interesting thing there too is we use Brandon on defense for penalty killing though, and on the power play we just use him 5-on-5. But I think he could be. In this, we don't know how long the experiment's going to go, but this could be something that we, really I think helps our team this season. Now. He just scored a goal, but it just happened to be on our net right there. And I remember during the course of the game, I went over to Coach Fairman when I went in. I said, "I told you can score." Just the wrong net. But that happens when you're as ferocious as he is, always bailing around our goal, and the puck goes into our net.
Tough break there with that goal, 1-0 setback on Friday night, but you come back on Saturday night, and I know you mentioned a much improved effort from your team on Saturday night.
Yeah, and I think CJ had a good game. But I thought their goal had an exceptional game because we had a lot of really good opportunities and a lot of good chances. I would like to see, and I'm seeing glimmers of hope because really even on Friday night, some of our best chances came on the power play. And then again on Saturday, although we only had 3 power plays, I thought we created quite a few opportunities to score. So I'm more encouraged with our power play now moving forward. And now it's just a matter, we've only scored 1 goal in our last 3 games. And so now for us, the good news is we've only given up 5. We're giving up less than 2 goals a game. So we don't have to worry about defense. Our goaltending is good. We've got one area we've got to shore up, and that's scoring goals. And I think we can do that. It's just a matter now of putting some effort into it in practice in terms of the offensive side of things without having a relapse at all on defense.
Scoreless first period here on Saturday night, and the Bulldogs will get a goal after Michigan Tech strikes first. You're able to come back in the second and get a goal, which was big at the time.
Yeah, the goal was scored by Matt Robertson, and boy, Matt's played really well for us. And it's interesting. He's not a real flashy type of player. He's just got a good sense for the game. He's got really good hands. And so I think, he's early in his junior year here, and he scored quite a bit for us last year, but he's close to becoming, a guy that on a nightly basis, I think he leads our team in points right now. He can put up some numbers offensively. A few guys that we need to get going. You see Gerald Mayhew right there with the hit, and McDowell here right now. Those are guys that I think, we just keep working and they can get better and better. But you know, we've got enough offense where we should be scoring more than one goal a game.
We'll talk about C.J. Mott's performance in that here in Game 2 on Saturday night.
You know what? He wasn't tested as much. I thought we did a much better job. We were winning battles to the pucks, and so he wasn't tested nearly as much. But he certainly, you know, he gave us a great opportunity to win the game. He made the saves that he had to make. I was more encouraged by the overall play of our team and our approach. It's funny, 2 one-goal games, and you think, wow, things aren't much different. But there was a whole different feel in our game and how we played on Saturday night than the way we played on Friday.
Michigan Tech gets the game winner in the third period, early in the third period. I know your team had to battle some penalties and having some guys in the penalty box in the third. Yeah,
appreciate you bringing that up. We did, and you know, I haven't had a chance to go back. I've watched the power play. I've watched some of our penalty kill. I didn't go back and watch the entire game yet. During the course of the night, I was a little confused at some of the calls. It's probably me, but it was interesting. Generally, when you have the greater number of shots, 5-on-5, and you have possession of the puck most of the time, you generally get the calls. And it was kind of an awkward situation in that we had the puck, but yet we're getting penalized. So I'll have to look at that and quite see exactly how that materialized.
Coach, this week you put those 2 behind you and you head on to Michigan State in a tough non-league series against the Spartans coming up on Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, it is, and you know, while we're disappointed to be 0-2 in WCHA, we're in good position though. If we can go into Michigan State and have a couple good performances there, we're 2-3 on the year, which is not very, you know, something we're excited about, but I had to remind the players, you know, we started off 2-2 last year, and everyone forgets that. Then we went on a 16-game undefeated streak. So I'm not saying that it's right around the corner, but what I'm saying is we're not far away from being a really good team. We're not that team right now. I know it, but we're also, it's no reason to start pushing the panic button either. And like I said, we were 2-2 a year ago when things took off, and I think things will take off for us here. It's just we've got work ahead of us, and everyone wants to pick up where we finished off last year, including myself. But the reality is you got to pick up where you started off last year, and that means you got to do all the little things and all the grinding and groundwork to get to where you want to be as a team. And we'll put the time in, we'll put the effort in. The players certainly will. They're great. And we do that, we're going to be just fine.
Well, Coach, best of luck this week against the Spartans, and then back at home in a couple weeks, November 13th and 14th, and looking forward to seeing some more action.
Yeah, we'll be happy to be home by then too, Rob. Thank you.
We'll be back with more Ferris Sports Update right after this.